Have you ever pondered what triggers a war, the colossal devastation it brings, and the aftermath it leaves behind? Wars aren't born in a day. They stem from deep-seated conflicts, political ambitions, and a quest for power. Our focus today is the Russia-Ukraine war, a stark example of these factors at play. Understanding the reasons behind wars and their far-reaching consequences is crucial in our quest for a peaceful world. Today, we delve into the history, the causes, and the effects of the Russia-Ukraine war. The roots of the Russia-Ukraine conflict are deep, entwined with history, politics, and identity. To truly understand the essence of this conflict, we need to journey back in time, to the era of the Soviet Union. Russia and Ukraine were then integral parts of the same entity, bound together by shared governance and a common destiny. Post-World War II, the Soviet Union emerged as a global superpower with Russia at its helm. Ukraine, rich in resources and industrial strength, played a vital role in the Soviet economy. However, beneath the surface, a unique Ukrainian identity was taking shape, distinct from the overarching Soviet identity. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 was a watershed moment. With newfound independence, Ukraine sought to assert its national identity and sovereignty. Yet the ties of history and shared culture made it a complex process, leading to a delicate balancing act between East and West. In the early years, Ukraine's independence was marred by economic struggles and political instability. Russia, on the other hand, viewed Ukraine's shift towards the West with suspicion, fearing the loss of influence over its former ally. This divergence in paths and interests laid the groundwork for future conflict. The past shapes the present, and in the case of Russia and Ukraine, it has ignited a war. This dispute is not just about territory or politics, but the struggle to define national identity in the shadow of a shared past. In 2014, a spark ignited the tinderbox, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict escalated into war. That year, Ukraine's political landscape experienced a seismic shift. The Ukrainian people, longing for closer ties with Europe, ousted President Viktor Yanukovych, a leader known for his pro-Russian stance. This political upheaval, known as the Euromaidan movement, marked a significant tilt towards the West, causing a ripple effect that would reverberate across the region. But the tremors of change didn't stop at political borders. Seizing the opportunity, Russia annexed Crimea, a region of Ukraine with a significant Russian-speaking population. Russia's swift and controversial move sent shockwaves around the world. It was the first time since the Second World War that a European country had annexed territory from another European country. The annexation of Crimea wasn't just a geopolitical chess move. It was a stark indication of Russia's intent and a clear signal of the escalating conflict. The world watched, holding its collective breath, as international law was flouted and the post-Cold War order was dismantled piece by piece. Yet, the tensions didn't stop there. In eastern Ukraine, in the regions of Donetsk and Luhansk, pro-Russian separatists rose up, armed and supported by Russia. They declared independence, sparking a war that would divide the nation and draw in the world. The Ukrainian government responded with force, and the fighting quickly escalated, tearing communities apart and turning cities into battlegrounds. The world was no longer watching a political chess game. It was witnessing the brutal reality of war. Peaceful protests had evolved into a full-scale conflict with far-reaching implications for Ukraine, Russia, and the global community. The stakes were high, and the cost in human lives and suffering was immeasurable. The dominoes had fallen, and the war had begun. This was not just a regional conflict. It was a geopolitical earthquake that shook the foundations of international law and order. And as we delve deeper into the consequences of this war in the next segment, we'll see just how extensive the damage has been. Wars leave a trail of destruction in their wake, and the Russia-Ukraine war is no exception. The consequences of this conflict have been profound, impacting not just the two nations involved, but the world at large. On a humanitarian level, the toll has been heartrending. Countless lives have been lost, homes destroyed, and families torn apart. The displacement of people has reached staggering heights, with millions forced to abandon their homes in search of safety. The mental and emotional scars left on survivors are incalculable. A silent aftermath that echoes long after the last gun has fallen silent. The economic fallout has been equally devastating. Both Russia and Ukraine have seen their economies crippled, with costs running into hundreds of billions of dollars. Infrastructure has been decimated, industries disrupted, and livelihoods destroyed. The ripple effects have been felt globally, impacting energy prices and triggering financial instability. The political consequences have been equally seismic. The war has strained Russia's relations with the West, leading to a slew of sanctions that have further battered its economy. Ukraine's struggle for sovereignty has drawn international attention and support, altering the geopolitical landscape. In response to this crisis, the international community has mobilized in various ways. Humanitarian aid has poured in to assist displaced people, while diplomatic efforts have been ramped up to broker a resolution. Peace talks have been ongoing, though progress has been slow and fraught with challenges. Yet, amidst the devastation, there are glimmers of resilience and hope. Communities have come together in extraordinary ways, supporting each other through the darkest of times. The struggle has sparked a renewed sense of national identity and unity in both Russia and Ukraine, a testament to the indomitable spirit of their people. The Russia-Ukraine war has reshaped the world in ways that will be felt for generations. Its aftermath serves as a stark reminder of the true cost of conflict and the urgent need for peace, understanding, and reconciliation in our increasingly interconnected world. As we gaze into the future, the question remains, what lies ahead for Russia and Ukraine? It's a complex puzzle with many potential outcomes. One scenario could see both nations finding a peaceful resolution, setting aside their differences for the greater good. This would involve diplomacy, compromise, and a commitment to peace that transcends nationalistic pride. Alternatively, the conflict could persist, with tensions remaining high and sporadic outbreaks of violence continuing to disrupt any chance of peace. This would be a grim future indeed, one that could destabilize not only Russia and Ukraine, but the entire region. There's also the possibility of international intervention, with other nations stepping in to mediate or enforce peace. While this could help bring about a resolution, it could also risk escalating the conflict. Only time will tell the final chapter of the Russia-Ukraine war story. The hope is that, whatever the future holds, it will be one of peace and reconciliation rather than continued strife and conflict.